Greetings and welcome to the 55th episode of Retro Rant. The last Amiga game we reviewed was the splendid Miami Mice. So now it is time to take a look at one of my all-time favorite MIGI games, Brutal Sports Series Football, released in 1993 by Millennium for ECS, OCS and AGA Amigas. A CD32 version was released as well. We will be taking a look here at the AGA version, since this one not only looks better, but it also offers smoother gameplay compared to the non-AGA version. Regretfully, I didn't have this one back in the day and I was stuck with good old Speedball 2 and MUDS, which are good games, but Brutal Sports takes the biscuit. And in this review I will explain why. There is no storyline in this game in the manual, and frankly, there shouldn't be any. It is the future! Mankind has finally grown tired of the usual sports and has decided to up the ante in action and violence. Human-like robots replaced humans, rules and fair play were tossed in the futuristic garbage bin, and the end result was something like a cross between American football and Friday the 13th. Punches, bombs, swordplay and even decapitations are everyday usual stuff in this game, and the toughest guy wins. I cannot praise the graphics enough, especially in the AGA version. Everything looks very good and the animation and scrolling are silky smooth. The ECS OCS version lacked a lot of the colors, but most importantly was a bit jerky. This didn't detract from the gameplay though, and I have spent endless hours in the OCS ECS version as well. I love the variety in the graphics of the game, especially the fact that the various teams look different and have different moves as well. For example, the Dragon team can breathe fire. The sound department is quite decent, with an appropriate title track that gets you in the mood for some violent sports. The sound in-game is restricted to some jingles and sound effects, but what is there is actually quite beefy and satisfying, from the sound of explosions to the grunts of pain from the abuse-taking players. And the gameplay is simply fantastic. You just have to score more goals than the opponent, so it is not unnecessarily complicated and messy like Speedball 2. The only other way to win a game is by killing all the enemy players minus the goalkeeper. So if you're 5 goals behind, all is not lost. You just have to enter Rambo mode and punch the living daylight out of the opponents. Of course, this is easier said than done, since the opponents fight back, and before you know it, the playing field becomes a battlefield with craters from the explosions, dead bodies and heads lying around in a hilarious over-the-top way. You can even pick up the various severed heads instead of a ball, happily carrying them around. There are lots of power-ups to help you, such as swords, shields, axes, bombs. The rabbit power-up is extra helpful since it will speed you up immensely for a limited amount of time, so you have a good chance of scoring then. Other power-ups include force fields, lightning bolts, making the ball sprout legs and so on, with the AGA version offering a greater variety of power-ups as well. Special mention should be given to the occurrence of a tie, where you play some injury time. But this is not your usual injury time, but taken to the literal level. Simply, you must incapacitate all your opponents, and the one who does that wins the game. The controls are rock solid, and it is very easy to make every move in the game, tackle, punch, shoot, pass, jump, etc., only with a single button controls. The game also offers a choice for 2-button joysticks, which is always handy for those that want that. The only thing that doesn't work very well for me is when you have to reach to the keyboard to activate your power-ups with the function keys. The manual states that you have to press the fire button to scroll through the power-ups, but I could never get this to work, especially in the heat of the game. Also, sometimes it is a bit difficult to tell where the ball is when there is a generalized mayhem going on, but I guess this adds to the realism. The game offers a chance to play a league, knockouts, or a simple unfriendly game against the AI or a friend. Two-player game is immensely fun in brutal sports football, but the AI offers also excellent challenge with a very fair and balanced difficulty curve. As if that weren't enough, you can also choose your difficulty level, so you are sure to be challenged in brutal sports no matter your skill level. Improving in the game is very satisfying, since the different maneuvers pay off when you learn to do them right, and the same thing can be said about learning to intelligently use your power-ups at the right time. After each game, you get some money, depending on your goals and kills, and you can use that in the gym to repair your players and increase their speed. This was my least favorite part of the game, not because it is bad, but because I feel the developers could have implemented some strategic elements like truly upgrading your players with the money. Overall, this is a fantastic game that is the pinnacle of futuristic sports on the Amiga and betters speedball in every aspect, with the exception of the after-game strategy. The violence is hilarious and over the top, the gameplay is fluid, unbelievably fun and addictive, and I cannot believe that this game doesn't get more love from the Amiga community. My guess is because of the late release date, as well as the Bitbap Brothers hype. It is never too late though to discover this gem, so I highly recommend you give this one a go, but try to keep a good head on your shoulders, literally. So that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.